What's up, y'all? It's Emile Ennis Jr. back here with Clevver News, and I know we might all be lusting over Jacob Elordi right now, but he's actually urging his fans to stop. I know it's shocking, but let me explain. Let's just call a spade a spade. Jacob Elordi is a snack, and there is no denying that fact. I'm not a snack, I'm Emile, but moving on. Ever since Jacob dropped onto the scene in 2018 for his leading role in Netflix's hit rom-com The Kissing Booth, fans have been gushing over him like it's their full-time job. For some stars, the added attention is fulfilling and a massive compliment, but according to Jacob, it really bothered him when people talked about his abs online after the first installment was released. He revealed this truth bomb during a recent interview with Men's Health, admitting that it was upsetting that rather than his performance in the film, fans only seemed to want to talk about his washboard abs whenever he was shirtless, which was actually pretty often. He said, quote, "At the time, I was super young and got thrown into a world where everyone wanted to talk about my body. It really bothered me. I don't identify with that whatsoever. I was trying to prove myself and be known as an actor. It was so much working out and I hated every second of it." Jacob also admitted that while filming the Kissing Booth movie, he developed an intense fitness regimen that required him to put in work at the gym twice a day for 7 days a week. He added, "I trained extensively for the first film because it said it in the script. I was so terribly nervous that I wouldn't be what the script wanted me to be." Since he's been able to develop his character from the first film, Jacob revealed that he's been putting much more of an emphasis on his health. He said, "The Kissing Booth was all about sculpting and making sure I had this figure that I thought the character needed. Now it's more functional. I want it to be a blank canvas and be more concerned with my health. I want it to be able to walk and run with my grandkids when I'm 80 something, you know?" He added, "It's more about being functional as opposed to actual aesthetics. Let's be honest, I have no interest in going to the beach and looking like The Rock." And while he had to slim down for his role in HBO's Euphoria, not training at all for The Kissing Booth 2 actually worked out in his favor, considering the sequel focuses more on his emotional evolution rather than the physical. Unfortunately for Jacob, this hasn't stopped fans from continuing to thirst after him online. One user wrote, "I don't have a singular romantic bone in my body, but for Jacob Elordi, I might just blush or smile or something." Another fan tweeted, "Watching The Kissing Booth 2 and I still want Jacob Elordi to throw me down a flight of stairs and spit on my lifeless body." Yeah, okay, now I can kinda see why it makes him so uncomfortable. But as for The Kissing Booth 2, Jacob spoke out about what he hopes fans will get out of the film, saying, "I hope with everything going on in the world that the movie can give them some sort of reprieve for 2 hours. I hope they get a smile and find a great amount of joy in watching the movie. That's all I can really ask for." Earlier this week, it was just announced that The Kissing Booth 3 had been secretly shot at the same time as the second film, but fans aren't too convinced that Jacob is thrilled about reprising his role. He recently spoke out about how exhausting it is to portray a teenager as a 23-year-old man, but fans were especially concerned after the promo for The Kissing Booth 2 dropped last year, claiming that he looked miserable and upset. Earlier this week, he addressed many claims, saying that he simply just has a resting miserable face, adding, "It's because I'm usually thinking a lot, an insane amount about something ridiculous." He also compared his demeanor to his character Noah Flynn's development throughout the film, saying, "I think Noah is a moody dude, you know? He's a moody guy. He's not running around super happy. I wasn't miserable. I was tired, but not miserable. I had a blast." Another reason for his exhaustion could be due to wrapping Euphoria's first season to filming The Kissing Booth 2 with no break in between. After flying straight to Africa, Jacob admitted he went through a dramatic shift, saying, "I was so exhausted the entire shot because I had just come off 8 months of filming, then flew however many hours to Africa. I never really woke up. I just got through it." I think I speak for the majority of the Kissing Booth fans that we're thrilled Jacob ended up powering through and pulling off yet another movie masterpiece for us all to rewatch while living our best quarantine lives. But to see what Jacob had to say about fans thinking he looked miserable on the set of The Kissing Booth 2, click right over here for another Clevver News video, and then let me know your thoughts on Jacob's comments on body image down in the comment section below. I'm your host, Emile Ennis Jr., and I'll see you soon right back here on Clevver News. Bye, guys.